When did you realize your siblings were using you? When I found out they'd been selling my artwork behind my back for 3 years. I've always been the artistic one in the family. While my two older brothers Jake and Ryan were into sports, I spent hours in my room drawing, painting, and creating digital art. My parents encouraged it, buying me supplies and even setting up a little studio space in the basement. My brothers always seemed supportive too. They'd come look at my finished pieces, and Jake would always say things like, "Dude, this is incredible. You could totally sell this stuff." Ryan would nod along, asking if he could show his friends at school. I was flattered by their interest, since we'd never had much in common before. When I was 15, Jake suggested I start an online art account to showcase my work. "You should build a portfolio for college applications," he said, helping me set up profiles on different platforms. Ryan offered to help manage the business side since I wasn't good with that stuff. They said they'd handle posting schedules, responding to comments, even dealing with any potential buyers who might reach out. I was grateful for the help. Jake would come down to the studio every few days, taking professional-looking photos of my completed pieces with his camera. Ryan would ask for the digital files, saying he needed high-resolution versions for the online galleries. Whenever I'd ask about the accounts, they'd give me vague updates. "Getting some good engagement," Jake would say. "Building a following takes time," Ryan would add. They showed me screenshots occasionally, follower counts, likes, comments from people saying they loved my work. I felt proud seeing people connect with my art. The weird thing was, I never seemed to have login access to these accounts. Whenever I asked, Ryan would say something about keeping everything organized under one email to avoid confusion. He would add that I should focus on creating while they handled the boring business stuff. It made sense at the time. Then last summer, I was at a coffee shop when I overheard two girls at the next table talking about buying artwork online. One mentioned a piece that sounded exactly like a landscape I'd painted months earlier. She even described the specific color combinations I'd used, this unique blend of purples and oranges for a sunset scene. My heart started racing. I casually asked if she could show me the piece on her phone. Sure enough, there was my painting, listed on an account I'd never seen before, sold for $300. The seller was listed as JR Art Studios, Jake and Ryan's initials. I spent the next week digging through social media, searching for variations of their names combined with art keywords. I found 4 different accounts selling my work. Dozens of pieces I'd created over the past 3 years, sold for anywhere from $50 to $500 each. The descriptions were written like they were the artists, talking about their inspiration and creative process for paintings I'd spent hours perfecting. The accounts had thousands of followers, comments from satisfied customers who'd bought and received my artwork, shipped directly from our house while I was at school. They'd even created fake artist bios, claiming to be self-taught brothers who'd been painting since childhood. When I confronted them, Jake's first response was, "We were going to tell you eventually." Ryan claimed they were building my brand and planned to split the profits once I turned 18. They'd made over $8,000 selling my work, money they'd supposedly been saving for my art school fund, though they couldn't produce any evidence of this savings account. The most infuriating part was how they'd convinced me I wasn't ready for the business side of art. "You're too young to handle taxes and shipping," Jake had said. "We didn't want you to get overwhelmed and stop creating," Ryan added. They'd positioned themselves as protective older brothers while they were stealing my work and profiting from my talent. My parents were horrified when I showed them the evidence. Mom cried when she realized how many hours I'd spent creating art that my brothers sold without my knowledge. Dad immediately made them transfer all the accounts to me and demanded they hand over every dollar they'd made. Now I manage my own art business, and ironically, I'm much better at the business side than they ever claimed to be. Turns out, when you're actually passionate about your work, you're motivated to learn everything about it.